Today, I want to tell you guys what I would regard as pretty much the top 5 essential trail tools that you would need to kind of get going, building your own stuff, or if you wanted to help out, or if you need to gather a bunch of tools to get a bunch of people going. These are going to be what I would regard as the top 5 trail tools. Number 5 for me, because I build a lot of trail features, would be the hammer and driver or screwdriver or whatever you have available. These are very, very, very essential for anybody who's building trail features. Any kind of feature you want to build, be it out of wood or something like, or out of trees. I mean, they're both wood. Any kind of feature you want to build is going to require some lag bolts or some screws or some nails in it. It's going to need something to hold it together. So you're going to have these tools to put these features together. So number 5 on the list has to be a hammer and a driver, because there's no way of putting these things together. Now, this is in my case. I love to build trail features, so it's hard to get away with trail building unless I have these two things. Number 4 is going to be your shovels. I couldn't really pick one over the others. If I have to, I guess I would pick your common flat shovel, just the flat square edge ones like this one that I'm going to show you in the video. That one, just because you can pack with it, you can dig with it, you can kind of smooth out surfaces pretty damn well. You kind of can't get away without a shovel. You're going to need a shovel at some point if you plan to dig out a berm, if you plan to build a little jump or make a little drop or anything. You're going to want a nice transition, and to make a nice transition, you're going to need dirt, and to get the dirt, you're going to need a shovel. So yeah, it's quite essential if you plan on making any very fun features. So along with that square shovel, I'm going to have a drain spade. That's what they call it. It's just the longer, skinnier shovel, and I'm going to need a post hole digger, because I'm building these features that require posts in the ground, and you have to dig very narrow and deep to build these things. So you're going to have these two along with that square shovel if you plan on building any kind of features that require wood in the ground or stabilization of any sort. So at the 3rd spot on the list, I have to put the axe and the saw, or like a pruning saw or a bow saw, something like that you can really cut maybe a smaller tree out or clear a really thick bush at the bottom, just so you can get it out of the way to even get in there with another tool to remove the roots. You're going to need to clear some stuff out of the way. The axe and the saw go so well. It's whenever you're first doing your clearings, they go so well together. It's something that you can't replace. That's whenever I've eyeballed out my sections and decided where I want things to go, very next step is I take my axe, I take my saw, and I go through and clear as much as I can around the areas and just clear out any little roots or any weeds sticking up out of the ground. When I'm deep in the woods, that bow saw comes in really, really handy when there's a couple cedar trees next to me and I'm wanting to build a little drop feature or just a bridge. You just take that bow saw and you cut up your little sections, and there you've got your stabilizers for each side, or your whatever you would call that. That's what the axe and the bow saw are just such a great combination to have when you're clearing out what you plan to cut trail through. Number 2 on the list is going to have to be the Pulaski. I don't use it that often, but it's such an essential tool whenever you do need it for removing trees and cutting in a bench cut on a harder slope or grade. It's so necessary for just smoothing out features, and for if you missed a couple branches, you can knock them out. If you want to shovel out an area, you can use the back side of it and the hoe side of it or whatnot, and just cut in. And it's got that sharp blade. Depending on how you like your Pulaski, you can sharpen up that hoe side and it's just going to cut through any roots. It's really good for just taking out big lumps of dirt. It's extremely well for this. And maybe in the desert you might use that to get your shrubs out. I'm not sure. It's a really good, yeah, it just gets all those little bitty trees out and stuff that you can't pull out by hand. It's very good for that. Yeah, it's just an all-around great tool that can be utilized in many different ways. Number one on the list, gonna be the McCloud. Has to be the McCloud. Hands down, best trail building tool out there. It takes the place of a shovel, a rake, a hoe, a Pulaski, a kind of an axe sometimes. Takes the place of a tamper. It works better than a rake at points when you're moving big loads of debris with branches and all kinds of stuff in it. I can't stress how essential the McCloud is to trail building. If you ever plan on doing trail building for a long time, the investment in a McCloud goes beyond any tool investment you could make as far as trail building goes. In my opinion, where I live, for tamping the dirt, for cutting in any kind of jumps, for cutting out a berm, for smoothing things out, for finishing the trail, it's in all stages of the process. I mean, it has endless possibilities as far as all the tools go. This one has the most uses by far. You will use the shit out of it if you buy one. It's undeniably number one, I think. I don't think there's much of an argument to say anything else is better. If you don't think so, say so. Say what you would deem number one in the comments. But for me, the McCloud tropes all of these tools by far. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Please subscribe. Like the video. Share it. In the next video, we're going to make some trail signs. And we're also going to make a logo for my channel. And surprise, surprise, if you watch the next video, you could win a sign of your own logo. I'm going to make one person or two people their own channel logo in this Router State Park style font. And yeah, just stay tuned. Watch out for that video. Okay. Whew. Fuck yeah, I talked a lot. Whew. Get hot here too.